Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Hartzler and I want to talk to you about combining terms. And this actually has a lot to do with the distributive property. So if we assume that A, B, and C are just their real numbers, right? I just have to say that to make the formula actually work out. But then the formula looks like either of these two things. One of them just has addition while the other has subtraction. But A times B plus A times C, well, both of them have A, so I can pull an A out of both of those things. And then I can just combine B and C together. And then the same is true, but with subtraction in the middle. But all of that really is just a fancy way of saying that we can combine like terms. Let's do a couple examples here. So I have 10x squared minus y plus 2x squared. Hopefully you notice both of these look a lot alike, right? They both have x squareds in them. Well, that means I can combine these two things. I'll show you this in a fancy like distributive property way first. So they both have x squareds. That means that I can have a 10, and I'm adding that 2 from over here, right? So this 10 and this 2, and then there is this lone minus y that's going to have to hang out still. And what is 10 plus 2? Well, 12. And I can just put that in front, or I can put that behind, wherever I want to put that, as long as it's still connected to that x squared. And that is done. Another way of saying this, we'll do it off to the right. I don't have to worry about the distributive property really, as long as I understand what it allows me to do. So if I have 7x plus 3y, both of those are just x's. They both have the same letter there and the same exponent on the letter, right? There's no exponent written, which means they're both 1. So 7x plus 3x, that's just 10x. That's all I have there. If I have 7 of them and then 3 more, that's 10. If I have 4 y's and I subtract 2 y's, that gets me 2 y's, right? If I have 4 of the thing and I subtract 2 of the thing, I'm only left with 2 of them. So it's a little bit easier if I don't have to worry about the distributive property. Let's check out the next ones. Okay, so I have 5ab plus 2ab plus 6. Notice the 6 is definitely out of normal for us here, right? So 5ab plus 2ab. If I have 5 of something and I add 2 of the exact same kinds of things, I just have 7 of them. And I have to write AB. I don't change their exponents and none of that because I'm adding the two things up. And then I have to leave that lone 6 just off to the side. Nothing I can do with it. It is not a like term. Now the one on the right, this one looks a little bit different. If you notice actually, it's kind of reversed of what we did here, right? In this chunk, we went through and we split those two things, we combined those two things. But let's distribute that 4 in first. Right, so I'm distributing that 4, multiplying that 4 to everything in the parentheses. So 4 times x gets me 4x. 4 times negative 3 gets me a negative 12. And then that 6 is just going to come down. Notice now how I have some like terms. I have something with no letters and something with no letters. So what is negative 12 plus 6? Well, I'm already negative 12, which would, on a number line, would be way over here. And then I have positive 6, so I go towards my 0, and I end up with the negative 6. Or I could use a calculator. You know, it's your preference, and your teacher's preference, I guess. Let's go on to some harder ones. Here I'm actually going to distribute this 6 into both of my things in my parentheses, and I'm going to distribute my 9 into both things in my parentheses. So 6 times x gets me 6x. 6 times the 2 gets me a 12. Then I have to take that 9 in. 9 times x gets me 9x. 9 times negative 1 is a negative 9. Now I've got to look for those like terms. Here's 6x and 9x. Those are like terms. They both have the same letter and the same exponent on my letter. So 6 and 9 is going to get me 15 of those x's. Then I have a 12 and a negative 9. Those, again, they look a lot alike, right? They don't have any letters, so they're like terms. And what is 12 if I take away 9 from it? And that gets me a positive 3. My next thing, I'm going to have to do the same situation, right? Distribute those numbers out in front in. 7 times 3x gets me a 21x. 7 times a negative 2 gets me a negative 14. Now, I have this negative 4. I have to distribute it to this 2x. And I'm going to take this whole negative 4 and distribute it in. And that gets me a negative 8x. I'm going to take that negative 4, distribute it to the negative 1. And now I have double negatives, so that's a positive 4. Now I see some like terms spitting out here, right? I have constants, so my -4 and my +4 and my -14. That's going to get me a -10. And I have 21x's minus 8x's. So 21 minus 8. Oh, let's see. That should get me 13x's. Nice. Oh, and that is it. How nice is that, folks? I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you learned something.